All right, vinyl people, it is time for the drop once again, coming to you from Cactus Music headquarters in beautiful Houston, Texas. Quinn Bishop riding shotgun as he does.
Hello, everybody.
Do you have the list?
I got two lists.
Come on, baby.
Two. That's that good.
Let's talk music.
It cannot be contained by one list.
Let's talk music.
We're going to kick it off talking about in-store event. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but in-store events are back at Cactus for 2024. We had a two for last week with a Bowie DJ session and
how did that go?
Marshall Falcon. It was cool. Yeah. And then Marshall Falcon, absolutely great. I would say if he comes back to town, you got to catch him. And this Saturday we have a global listening party for the new Green Day album, and it's 1 p.m. on Saturday. And one of the most popular bands in the world, arguably like the biggest selling punk band of all time. We have a step and grip thing where you can take photos. Cool. And of course it's free to attend. Free posters. We have enter to win exclusive merch for the event. Other surprises, free refreshments, of course, free posters for people that show up. Some other surprises. We got buttons, stuff like that. And you can also pre-order a copy. We're going to have autographed copies of this CD when it comes out. And there's an indie store exclusive LP. You can pre-order those items at the event. And we hope to see. And of course, cool and refreshing St. Arnold beverages complimentary. This is one of the posters you can get if you show up.
That's a good one too. On cardstock.
Yeah.
So
looking sharp.
And for a band that's been around as long as these guys have, all original members.
I know.
No one's
it's
left.
A short list.
There wasn't some sort of like, I'm out of here. You guys suck. I'm suing you.
And they've had drama, but they always come back together. I'll say this about them. They are like a lot of bands. They do this thing where they will make a record where they're giving it to everybody just straight down the middle. This is what you want us to do. We're doing it. And then they'll do a couple of more self-indulgent projects, some things that are kind of out there. So in between those, but they always come back to center on like the third record. This is that record.
This is the record.
The singles are great. It's what you want to hear them do.
Somebody posted on I don't know. Let's leave it at local musician. Mm-hmm. Commented new Green Day something, just a bunch of leftists, something not punk.
Whatever. I think they're easy targets. People just love to hate them, but it's cool. I have no beef with them. Did you see them at Numbers? Were you working at Numbers?
No, I was not.
Okay.
No. Anyway, I kind of feel like punk kind of landed somewhere on the left anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what? Yeah, that's a kooky statement. All right. All right. Let's talk about records now.
Go.
So this came out right before the new year, and it was a surprise release. It's so cool. This is a double A-sided single with the Foo Fighters doing their song "The Glass" from the But Here We Are record, and with her doing her version.
That's really
double
cool.
A-sided, two versions, and this is a great song.
Yeah, man.
And her version is super cool. She's everywhere, right? Like you can't.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't not see her doing something.
Correct.
Cool. So great project. I think it's neat that they pulled that in and did something unique.
Is this, I'm guessing, kind of like a limited?
It's super limited.
Yeah. So this is a good one for the collectors.
Absolutely, and it's on some kind of colored, but I think it's like clear or something like that.
If you're a Foo, what is it? If you have to collect everything, you're a completionist. You're a
completist.
Completist, yes, completist. Yeah. If you got to have it all, get this one.
And
in stock at Cactus.
Yeah, we have a few of those left. So
swing
by and pick up one of those. Okay, let's talk about brand new LPs coming out. And man, the ladies are rocking the new year here.
It always makes me happy.
We're going to kick it off with the new Kali Uchis record.
Yes.
This is
which one do you have?
It's well, this is funny. So it's how do I say that?
Orchides.
Which is orchids.
Yeah.
Which is the Colombian national flower.
Orchides. Okay.
So and this album marks a return to her Spanish music roots. It's all Spanish records.
She's such an interesting artist.
She is a really interesting artist. Yeah. She's got a lot of guests on there, including Carol G, who's rose to the top of the charts. And this is her fourth album, Grammy Award-winning artist. So this is the conventional cover, always provocative. I mean, but it's always
beautiful art
direction. Beautiful. This one is the indie store exclusive vinyl.
Very cool.
It's pretty edgy.
It's edgy. It's cool.
Really,
it is cool.
That's some provocative artwork. But you know, monster artists. And one thing I wanted to talk about is I have a quiz for you, Ruben. You may have read the same end of year stats that I did.
Go.
So in 2015, there were 2 songs by Latin artists that broke the Billboard Hot 100. How many in 2023? How many charting singles on the Billboard Hot 100?
2 in 2022.
No, 2 in 2015. So what do you think the growth is?
Oh, what the growth is? I'm going to go 20.
98. Latin music, Latin pop music in particular, has just absolutely exploded.
I get that. Okay.
And streaming is driving it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to really stick it out. It's there. You can pull it, and it's been such a huge couple of years for Latin music in pop circles, and I'll say it's being driven by great artistry too. It's not just tracks. It's not just singles. It's great artistry.
I love that.
So anyway, so people are excited about this. Now I included this in the new releases, and I was mistaken because I should have known. This is Jane Ako's debut mixtape that came out, and look at the names on there. She rolled in with a big one. This from 20. This came out in 2013, so you got a 10-year anniversary coming with this one.
So just re-released or what?
Yeah, it has not been on vinyl.
Cool.
Before, so it had a little help from her friends.
Vince Staples, Childish Gambino, Kendrick Lamar. Not bad at all.
So not bad at all. And of course, this launcher, kind of alt R&B singer, very, very popular. It's good to have this on vinyl. And again, you're starting to see they're able to press up stuff with expanded pressing capacity. In the United States, you're seeing a lot of titles come that have not been available before. So three rocking female artists there hitting the new year. And now for something completely different, the Children of Bodom live album.
Saw that on the list.
The final show. They recorded their final show, and I mean, these guys are huge. We did a signing with them. It was pretty cool. And then of course, they're such gearheads. They all left here and went straight to Rockin' Robin.
Yeah, of course.
Gear.
Of course.
Are you fans of them? I mean,
if it's on, I'll listen to it. I don't seek them out. This was what's his name, right? Alexi Lalo, who died tragically or too soon. Yeah, man.
We say that a lot.
Yeah.
But so you can get that. I think that was one of those things that there was a lot of like fan footage.
Yeah, I think
and then they finally put it out.
This particular brand of metal was always weird for me because it had like these kind of over the top keyboard kind of.
Yes.
It was. Yeah, so it's
almost like a Scandinavian thing.
Yeah.
Like the flip flop to the death metal, right?
I think so. Yeah, and I always preferred my metal keyboard less.
Okay. I hear you, man.
But no, they're wild following all around the world.
That's the beauty of metal. There's a stripe for every fan out there. There's
lots of holes to insert your peg.
If you like Viking power metal,
yes,
there's that for you too.
I'm on Amarth. I can't even say it. I actually watched a live set from them at like Hellfest or something one night. It was really good.
Sure. Oh, it's entertaining. Yeah. You can't believe that's happening.
It has its moments because they've got this big ship behind them, and there's like fire coming out of it. Kind of like a Viking Rammstein, situation.
That is absolutely what's going on. Good call. Okay, now this is a very anticipated record. This is a new Kid Cudi record. This is Insano. Kind of back to form. He did the soundtrack for his. I can't remember what network.
Is it Cudi or Cuddy? It's one of those where I need like a phonetic.
It's
Cuddy. Is it Cuddy? Cuddy.
Help from the studio audience.
I get one right. Our producer Daisy chiming in.
So Kid Cudi. So the soundtrack of the previous release was not as well received. So I think this is like back to form.
Very cool.
Very anticipated.
I like
record.
The artwork.
Yeah, he's great.
21 tracks.
He's the ceiling of artistry for right now for hip hop. This should be a great record.
Agreed.
You want to talk some reissues? We love talking reissues.
Let's do it.
I know you like this one. This is the first time this has ever been on vinyl. It's the first Paramore record. Never been on
So
LP
excited.
before. Yeah. So it's funny. I was listening to it. I was like, oh my gosh, this takes me back. I remember like we had employees at the store that were just crazy about this record. Took me back. It's a good one.
Yeah, and of course, I heard, Ain't It Fun? It was the first thing that I heard by them and stuff. And so I kind of thought, oh, they're going to be this very kind of poppy, lighter, but they rock it out on this album. I mean, there's a lot of pop stuff, but I mean,
the thing is,
they can rock.
It's rocking, but the melody,
the melodies, and her
voice,
Haley's voice is so
absolutely
beautiful in a kick-ass way.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about a band that has had. Usually, bands' resurgences are marked by some kind of concert event or previewing a new record or something.
Featured on an episode of Stranger Things.
Exactly. This artist, there's nothing driving it other than people are rediscovering this sound. They're hearing the influence of this band in contemporary bands, and they are really selling a lot of records. This is the Cactus Twins, and their last two records. Finally on vinyl again. This is Milk and Kisses and Four Calendar Cafe, two excellent releases from them. English band, dreamy pop with, as my daughter says, gibberish words.
Sure.
She's like, what is it? What is she saying? I'm like, nobody knows.
Nobody cares.
Nobody knows. It doesn't matter. It's a melody, right? Yeah. It's a different instrument.
Yeah.
And the voice is an instrument.
And you talk about fans that were just obsessed.
Yeah.
Just obsessive.
And so the thing I think so these records have not been on vinyl in forever. And the thing that's amazing is with these coming, I will tell you one of our best-selling catalog titles from last year was Heaven or Las Vegas.
I believe it.
So if there was ever a time for them to do something again,
now's the time.
They are happening. Okay, let's talk about the Start Your Ear Off Right promotion. Every January, the Rhino Records label, they put together a batch of catalog reissues. They do special colored vinyl. Sometimes they'll update the packaging, put posters and stuff in it. But they pick some records that haven't been available in a while, and here they are again. You get two from the Grateful Dead. You get their Terrapin Station record, which people argue the merits of this record, but everybody loves the cover, right? You got turtles boogieing down, playing bluegrass music. For me, the 1978 sounding keyboards that are on this do not sound like turtles boogieing down.
No.
I don't know what it sounds like. No. But two fan favorites. That one is on. You see what? That one's on
green vinyl.
Green vinyl. And then of course, limited edition silver vinyl for In the Dark, which was their monster record with Touch of Grey on it, which put them their only ever monster big hit single.
Video on MTV.
This put them.
Rotation.
Yeah, this made them where they had to go play football stadiums and stuff like that because they were just too big to play concert halls and small arenas. So, and I don't think they were all that comfortable with that when that happened. But this is a huge record. This was a reset moment, relaunch for their career, and I'm sure fans are excited to get these back in their hands and on their turntables.
Silver vinyl on this one.
Silver vinyl. This is a cool record. So yes, obviously had a very long career, only one steady band member through the entire length of the band, the bassist Chris Squire. This is the first record. This is, and I love the pop art cover. I just love that. It's like, is that Scream 60s or what?
Yeah.
Very formative. This is the lineup of the band. They didn't have Steve Howe yet, so they didn't have that really kind of classical leaning, amazing guitar. They Tony Phillips playing guitar. He was great as well. And this is before like Rick Wakeman and all that kind of stuff, but still a noteworthy. Get John Anderson's voice. It's always fun to listen to the first album and see knowing where it went. Where did it start?
How it started.
Yeah, it's
how
fun.
It's going.
And that's a cool record. That has not been available in a while.
Cobalt blue vinyl.
Cobalt blue vinyl. This is one I think people are going to be flipping out for. So this one's cool. This is one of the records. This is the first record I heard because it was the only one that was in print that you could buy. This is Velvet Underground live at Max's Kansas City after the Loaded record. This is got all their Best known hits. The thing that you need to know about this, it has been expanded to a 2 LP to include the entire show. You get the legendary live Max's Kansas City recording from August 1970 on Orchid and Magenta vinyl. The whole thing. You get Sweet Jane, Sunday Morning, Pale Blue Eyes, Femme Fatale, all the favorites. And this is truly a fan favorite record. And based on the fact that their MGM recordings were out of print for so long, this was really one of the only pieces you could buy. This one in the loaded record. So people are, this is a beloved record with fans.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one.
I know a couple of big Velvet fans would love to have that.
And okay, we're gonna close
this one. I don't know.
This is Melanie Martinez. This
Yeah,
is her after school EP, reissued on Orchid Splatter vinyl. You know, her last record, Portals, was huge. She has a ton of she's one of the most engaged, just ardent fan bases of any modern artist. So we did that listening party here.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, we did. I remember talking about that.
We did a global listening party like we're doing for Green Day on Saturday for her. And like 7.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah,
it was out of control.
That's
so
nuts.
She's got this is already selling like crazy. She has a bunch of very
I love it.
Big fans, and she's a little bit of a controversial artist. You know, modern singer-songwriter. A lot of electronic elements to it.
Love it.
But
did you mention the Orchid Splatter vinyl?
Did I? I don't know. It's on Orchid Splatter vinyl,
Orchid
people.
Splatter vinyl, people. Come get it. In stock at Cactus right now.
It is indeed. Okay, we've been teasing this for a while, and now we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about some. We talked about our picks last week. Some of our favorite things from 2023.
Yes, indeed.
So the Cactus staff, some of the most
here we go. Yeah.
knowledgeable people you can talk to about music. And you know, when you're shopping online, you always get the relevant if you like this, or because you listen to this, listen to this.
Other people also bought or looked at. Yeah.
Let's talk about real recommendations by real people that are consumed by music, this is their life.
Yep.
And we've got some great ones here for you that you probably missed that you need to know about. And you'll know some if you shop at our store regularly. You'll know these employees. Kelly, this is Kelly's pick from this year. This is a Deeper, and this is a new sub pop band, and had their debut record this year. Also on cassette. I just like to show a cassette.
I do too.
We got a tape.
Tape for you. Since we're seeing more cassettes, be impressed, right? And I think the first ones we started seeing since we've been doing the drop, were kind of like a super duper novelty.
Yeah. No, people are playing
very
them.
kitschy in some respects. So, and we've talked a lot about how hard, especially coming out of COVID, how hard and how long it takes to get vinyl printed. Right. Is cassette manufacturing is it quicker? Do you know anything about that?
Fast. You can send a digital file to a cassette duplicator manufacturer and have your product in a few days versus waiting 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 3 months to get records back. So, and also the cost of production is cheap. So you can, if you're going to see a local or regional band and they've gone to the trouble to do this.
Buy that cassette.
Buy the cassette and just consider that you have paid for all the streaming you've gotten of that record. This is your and buy a T-shirt while you're at it.
Buy a T-shirt.
Okay, so this and I like this record a lot too. We played this.
What's it sound like? Because I'm not familiar with it. Tell me.
So Kelly says it reminds her of the post-punk bands of the '70s that I love, but a current vibe and punchy guitar that makes me want to move. I think that's right. It's there's a little bit of television going on there. There's it's quirky.
Where are they from?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right.
But this is really
how tall are they, Quinn? What's the average height of the band?
It's 5'10".
Let's see.
It's 5'10".
It feels that in the they look like they're 5'10".
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But it's great to see new signing Sub Pop. You know, they've got a legacy of great artistry, and occasionally there's always good. I mean, all their new signings are good, but I think this one might actually go somewhere because our staff loves this record, and it was immediate.
Done.
So let's see what happens.
I got to check that out.
Okay, Jonathan, he picked a really cool record, and that I was completely unaware of.
He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Had no idea what this was. This is the Mystic 100s. and this is On a Micro Diet. And so these guys used to be a band called Milk Music that sold some records back then. And this cover looks like a hand-drawn 1960s psychedelic record.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it sounds like. Jonathan lets us know that it doesn't sound anything like Milk Music.
And then you get
if you like them. Yeah, that's a party right there.
Everybody vibing.
And they are from Olympia, Washington. I do know where they're from.
I'll take Olympia, Washington
so
for the win.
This is very like live band sounding, psychedelic, but it's very Grateful Dead influence, psychedelic.
Okay.
But at times it kind of sounds like Tom Verlaine to me. But I listened to the whole. I was going to sample a couple of songs, so I know what I was talking about. And ended up listening to most of the record. It's very enjoyable. Like I said, if you're kind of on that hippie psychedelic vibe, this might be for you. It's a cool record. Yeah.
All right, man. Is it a double?
It's a double. I think it's a double. It's a double album. It's a double. It's recorded in doubly.
Doubly.
Yeah, man. And then Robert is a connoisseur of great country music, and he picked a record which we have featured on the drop before.
Oh yeah.
He picked the new Margot Price record, Strays.
Well done, Roberto.
And I would concur with him that it is excellent. He said
it's a great record.
He said that she wrote and recorded most of the album while taking psychedelics.
Yeah.
She did. The story is her and her husband got somebody to care for their kids, and they just went off and tripped and made a record.
Yeah, man.
I'd
like to see more artists explore that.
Yeah, totally.
That business model.
And
Purple Smoke vinyl, people.
And Robert has a great ear. He really noticed that it's really connected to 70s like pop and rock stuff as much as it is country. I think people associate with being a country artist, but this is more than that. And he also says it's one of the best live shows he saw last year, and he is out every week seeing live music.
This is true.
So that is saying
and
something.
other things. Samples a little bit of everything, which I love about him.
He does, yeah. He's super knowledgeable. Okay, our last pick is from Matt, and Matt manages our online sales here, and he is a very well-educated music fan, and he always picks something that I've never heard of, and he picked this record, Lewisburg. I guess it's like a notepad or something.
Out and About.
Out and About is the name of the record, and I love this. He gave me a very academic description of this record.
We would expect nothing less.
Well, I will. My pre-ramble. My pre-ramble is that this is a Dutch band. It's their fourth record. They toured the States for the first time last year. He saw them back in October. Okay. He says, on this record, the Velvet Underground influenced brute minimalism of their first records has been smoothed over with sounds of New Jersey indie bands like Yola Tango, the Feelies, and early K records like Tiger Trap and Be Happening. Okay. I like all that stuff.
All of that stuff is
and I listened to this
very
morning.
fine.
It's great. The lyrics remain intriguing and literary, alternating between recognizing the inherent beauty of the regularness of everyday life and personal introspection on the utility of art and artists.
Nice.
That is an enthusiastic recommendation.
And well written.
And it absolutely well written. I listened to this whole thing this morning. I thought it was super cool. Whatever he nailed it on the description.
Lewisburg, guys.
If you like that classic indie rock of that era, that would be like Yola Tango and all this
sits comfortably in your refrigerator.
And the important thing to realize as a music fan, every great artist you like generally started out on an indie label. So you can't be dismissive of things. It's like, I don't know about that. That seems a little too lowbrow for me. Man, indie, everybody starts somewhere.
And that's usually where the good stuff is.
And that's usually where the good stuff is. And in a lot of cases like this is probably licensed from some label in
Europe,
in Europe. So if they're not going to come here and tour, it's hard to sell records as American record companies. That's why those records come out in indie labels. Take a chance on something you're not aware of.
Look at that.
Great. Staff picks. We'll have some more of those.
We're going to do staff picks some more because I think that is absolutely a nice addition to the show.
It's what you get from the indie store.
I love it. This is what you get from independent record stores. All right, so folks, it is time for the Vinyl Vault. This is when we dig deep. We swing open the doors, reach inside, and Quinn, it's your turn yet.
It is my turn.
What do you got for us?
You know what I got for you? I got you the self-titled album. Of course, it doesn't have a year on it. From Tom Rush. The Tom Rush.
Tell me all about him, because I don't know. I don't know him.
Is one of the original, like, Greenwich Village. He was in the kind of earnest New York folk, East Coast folk movement, but then he was one of the first generation singer-songwriter guys that ushered in that era. He was the first to record songs by Joni Mitchell, Jackson Browne, and James Taylor. He wrote a couple of standards, such as The Circle Game. It was a big hit for, I think, Judy Collins, and No Regrets, which has been a hit in, I think, 3 different decades by different artists. The thing that's interesting about Tom Rush, as great as a writer he is a brilliant interpreter of other people's music, and really kind of had that duality to his career. He's not a household name. The thing I love about this record is always in the budget bin.
Yeah.
And whenever I see it at another store in the budget bin, I'll buy it and give it to a friend that I think that should hear it.
Nice.
So one of the great songs on here is this "Lost My Driving Wheel" song, which a lot of people have covered, but he did the version that really is the definitive version. All these songs he does Jackson Browne's these days. People know the Greg Allman version of that. This is just such a funky, groovy yet introspective 1970s singer-songwriter record, and it stands with all the best work of that era, but didn't really connect with the wider audience. This is like a musician's musician record. So if you're of that, like I was just saying, if you like James Taylor and Jackson Browne and artists like that, he's a little more funkier than that. But this record, solid gold. I enthusiastically recommend seeking it out. It's always cheap.
In a bargain bin near you.
And he also had you can find this on CD relatively easy as well. But yeah, worth checking out.
All right. We covered a lot of ground.
We covered
a whole bunch of ground.
Good on time.
Yeah, we're good on time. We've got a couple minutes left, so we're going to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up. We're talking about the Green Day Global Listening Party event.
Again, in case you missed it at the top of the show, folks, here it is.
You can take photos with the grip and turn screen. A lot of free stuff, complimentary refreshments from the St. Arnold Brewery, posters, buttons. You can enter to win. The merch is super cool. You can
Saviors is the album.
Merch. I think the record sound great. Come on and check that out. And I'll just announce it right here. The following weekend, keeping the party rolling, we're going to have the Hates.
Oh, that's right. Houston's own.
I love it. They build themselves. Their press. I think it's set up for the last record too. They build themselves as Houston's first and last punk band. You've seen Christian all over town.
So that he just
giant
just on the scooter. Just decided to bookend that one. Yeah. Can sometimes be fun across the street at Rock and Robin.
But if we're gonna acknowledge like national punk like Green Day, we got to throw the Hates in there so you can see them.
That's the perfect bookend right there.
Yeah, right.
I think that works. All right, people. So you know the drill. All these things are free. They're not going to charge anything to come in here and have a good time and listen to good music and have a free frosty St. Arnold's beverage. So and
kid friendly too. If you've got a young person in your house, they're discovering music. Their tastes are still
forming.
Yep. Bring them to a Cactus Music In store. You're only going to be here 30 minutes listening to music. You can hang out. We always have spots for kids right up front.
Lots of cool
and the
stuff.
Musicians love it.
Yeah,
they absolutely love it.
Lots of cool stuff. All right, guys, that does it for us. Next week, it happens again every Thursday at 12:30. I'm Ruben Dominguez. That's Quinn Bishop. Peace. We're out of here.